but some might say that Jokic kind of only cares about his stats at this point. And there's a big argument. Averaging 24.8 points per game, 10 assists, and 11 rebounds. I mean, that's a triple-double. That's something to be glad about, but it might come at a cost. Tom, what do you think?
You know, I'm not a guy that played a lot of basketball. I was a rec guy. I kind of played pickup games, but I've watched basketball my whole life. I've can't say that I've been there. I studied the game. I can't say that I've been in the locker room with these guys. I can't attest to any of that stuff. But if you're gonna go and try to take away from a player like Jokic, there's all these people saying he's stat padding. I mean, when he gets a triple double, they're 23-0, right? I mean, it's not like they're losing the games when he's getting these stats. It's not like they're struggling, and at the end of the game, he's trying to get those extra couple rebounds, extra couple assists, just so he can finish it off. They're winning these games. They're the number one seed in the West, and they're probably going to be the number one seed overall, depending on how this ends up the last 20 games of the season. Jokic at this point, the most thing he cares about is winning an NBA championship. Period. End of story. Him getting an MVP for him is like a consolation prize. He doesn't care about the MVP. He just keeps getting the MVP because he is the most valuable player to the team. When Murray goes down, the Nuggets are still a contender. Jokic is the glue to the Nuggets. Murray and Porter, all the other pieces that they have currently, they're important, but Jokic is the glue for the Nuggets. And I think it's very silly to say that he's stat padding. I just think he's not that kind of a player. We've seen what he does, the way he plays the game. It's just I don't know. There's nothing I could say. It's kind of upsetting to really take away from a player like this. So yeah, I don't think he's stat padding at all. I think he's trying to win a ring. He's doing whatever he can to get there.
I completely agree. Look at Jokic's body and his play style. Just from an athleticism perspective, he has to work so much harder than other athletic centers, like maybe a Bam Adebayo or a DeAndre Ayton, to go get 10 rebounds. He has to actually find a body and box out. And how many centers can you name ever in the history of the game that averaged a triple double with points, rebounds, and assists? Probably none that come to mind right away, right? Maybe once in a while a center might get 10 blocks or something defensively, but Jokic is doing this and carrying his team. Like Tom said, first seed in the West. They have a good core around him: Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon. So when you think about it, when Jokic is bringing the ball up, it's not that hard for him to get 10 assists. You have great playmakers and shooters around you. KCP. A lot of these guys can knock down shots. If you watch the Nuggets the other night, Michael Porter Jr. was on fire. And if you notice, every play starts with Jokic's hands on the ball. And his head's on a swivel and he's looking for guys. So it's not that hard for him to get his 10 assists. He has the ball in his hands all the time. He's going to get fouled. It's not that hard to get 10 points. And his efficiency and having them in the first seed just shows me this guy is not stat padding. He could care less if he averaged 0 points a game and never won an MVP award again. He's trying to get that championship ring.
Yeah, and I know you said earlier that there was like something swirling around that his teammates were shooting off first instinct just so he can get that assist. I mean, if that's the case, and we're really going to say that about Jokic and about the Nuggets, then the entire Nuggets organization has to be in on the stat padding. I mean, then they all got to be like, oh, we're just doing this. Like, are you kidding me? Like, do you really think the entire team is like, oh, we're just going to catch and shoot just so Jokic can get a triple double? Like, is that really what we're coming down to now? We really think like NFL is scripted, NBA is scripted. Oh, now individual teams are scripted. Like they're gonna literally sit there and help Jokic stat pad. It's really silly. It's really, I don't know. It's kind of annoying actually because you take away from that, and then yeah, it's just like kind of like the Russ thing. Like everyone gets on Russ about he's a poison to every team, and we're forgetting we're looking at potential Hall of Famers here, and we're taking away from what they're doing. How about we just sit back and respect their game and let them play their game however they want to play it? We're not in their shoes. Let them play the game they want to play. If they get an MVP because of it, let them get an MVP. If they win a championship, that's their thing. They're getting paid to play basketball, not us, not anybody else. Let them play their game, sit back and enjoy the show.
By the way, with the stat padding and all the hate it gets, so are you basically telling me that these guys should just stop and just go to the bench when they get 9 assists and 8 rebounds? Like, don't even get your triple double. These guys are out there hooping, and they're playing at the highest level on the planet. And I think it's a joke when anyone basically goes at these guys for stat padding because one, none of y'all are doing it, nor ever did. And two, I think with Jokic, the one other thing that really impresses me, they're 23-0 when he has a triple double. So from a basketball perspective, you're basically saying he's impacting all parts of the game. He's controlling the game offensively, and he's not your traditional center. He's almost a point center. So someone who's basically running point and getting everyone involved, he's going to get 10 assists, just like we see Chris Paul and other great passing point guards get 10 assists all the time. Jokic can do that in his sleep.
Yeah, I hope they win and Jokic just, what now? Like, at this point, just win the championship so everyone could shut up.
Yep.